This session of the Dealer Playbook is brought to you by Flex Dealer. Attract, engage, and convert high-quality vehicle shoppers with innovative digital marketing strategies that will dominate your market. Check out more at thedealerplaybook.com/flex.
This is the Dealer Playbook. Hey there, welcome to episode 62 of the Dealer Playbook podcast, where every single week we're sitting down with power players in and out of the automotive industry for you, today's automotive professionals. My name's Michael Cirillo. I'm joined by the man, Mr. Robert Wiseman. What's going on?
Hey, bro, what's happening?
Hey, not much. This is going to be a fun little quick episode where we're talking Periscope because, I mean, this thing has exploded. So for those of you listening in, if you've considered doing Periscope or getting on and doing live broadcasts, we're going to give you 5 useful ways that you can use Periscope to advance with your brand, to help you sell more products, to help position you as the authority in your marketplace. So what we've done, Robert and I have put together 5 creative ways to use Periscope. And right now, in fact, I am live broadcasting on Periscope because, as Robert says, I'm eating my own dog food. So, Robert, what you got going on? You jumped into the Periscope yet?
This one is one that unfortunately I'm not going to be one of use my usual MO, early adopter,
Right.
First one there type. But I've been watching it for a long time, and I, pretty familiar with it. I've played around with it, but again, this is one I'm sleeping on, and that's why it's like, and the good news is there's nobody really that comes in and can give you like a strategy for this thing that's going to work for everybody, because it's so personal and, on the fly that, it's going to work for different people. Like, for example, like Grant Cardone, he's killing it on these things. You know what I mean? One of the top, periscopers out there, meerkatters out there. But this is a question for you, Michael. If somebody else was delivering the same kind of content, same kind of message as Grant, but he didn't have like Grant's, persona, do you think it would be as huge as it is?
Yeah, I mean, he had a platform going into it, so it exploded for him, right? But we're going to talk about how you can build an audience. Now, in all transparency, I mean, I've been doing Periscope consistently now for 3 weeks. I see new followers every single day, but it's not, it's not like a rapid growth thing, especially if you don't have a massive audience like Grant Cardone going into it, or Chalene Johnson, or any of these other big power players. So we're going to talk about ways that you can use Periscope, be an early adopter, and these strategies work. They are things that I've implemented. I've really kind of been the guinea pig for Periscope. A lot of my followers are also people who are kind of in the same boat as me, who are trying to figure it out. And I think that's probably one of the first things that's important for everybody listening in to realize, is that everybody's new at this and everybody's still trying to figure it out, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's maybe just dive right into the 5 creative ways to use Periscope that we've come up with. And then, of course, like I said, I've got people watching right now live on Periscope, and I'm going to invite them to just comment. They kind of get the pre-interview to the pre-show to the actual show. So here's the first thing. Let's dive right in. Of course, depending on what it is that you do, if you're a car sales professional or whatever, a finance manager, a general manager, you can actually take the opportunity to do live walkarounds of vehicles or live product demos, which is something that I mean, nobody else in your market is doing, and that's one of the very powerful ways. I mean, people are doing walk-around videos, they're posting them to the YouTube channel, but the opportunity to get enthusiasts who like your brand already watching a live product demo is such a powerful way for you to reach out and get that kind of that competitive advantage over the other people who are just posting, cleaning them up and putting them to YouTube. It gives them a real raw look at who you are, something we call in the marketing world an attractive character, because they get to see the real you, not the prettied up, scripted version of you, but they get to see the real you doing a real walk around or a product demo. Very, very powerful way to connect with your audience.
Yeah. And that's probably one that's the first thing that anybody's probably doing out there, and it's kind of the no-brainer, and you're right. It's like the connection level of, attracting eyes, because everybody's excited about it too. So people are watching it like crazy. You know what I mean? Like you said, how many new people are you getting that aren't even really dug into the automotive world at all?
Yeah.
But now are connecting with you because of the exposure you've gained there.
Well,
so
and think about this too. Think about the fact that right now, the last statistics that I saw is that I think it's something crazy. 40 years, not hours, 40 years worth of video is watched every day on Periscope.
That's insane.
That's an insane number. So, like
and
you
that's
said,
that's not always live too.
It's not always live, and
yeah.
I mean the fact that people are watching you either live or they're going back to watch the replay, and so that's what I'll say about these live walkarounds. The replays last for 24 hours, so people will definitely go back and check out your replays of these product demos. But this leads us into the next thing, the next creative
Well, let me ask
way.
you a question on this piece real quick that
Yeah,
I think
do it.
the person listening in will get value out of. Do you think that it's like that? So it's okay, let me just go do a product review on this new car and just show pretty much everything? Or do you like it like we do with how we talk when we're just creating, pieces of content, not on the fly? Do you think it's go in and be like have it a little planned, like the 3 new features on
I
this
think
car, or
you don't need to go
demo
off the
this
cuff.
new feature?
Yeah, you don't need to go off the cuff. I think you could have a couple of bullet points on a page and just know what you want to talk about and know what you want to highlight. Ultimately, you know your product better than anybody else, or you at least should know your product better than anybody else. And so take kind of the most exciting features, advantages, and benefits of that product, of that vehicle, or whatever it is that you're highlighting at the store, and talk to those points. So make the walk around very focused, I would say. Not necessarily scripted again, but just have bullet points to kind of give an outline of what you want to discuss.
Yeah, where you're going to go, and you kind of just describe it in your own language. All right, so when move on top of that, to really build some context for the listener. What about the titling, and then also about the heart requests, the share requests, things like that? When's the times? What's the way to word that, and what's the benefits?
Sure. So the thing I love about Periscope right now, I'm glad you brought this up, is it's one massive experiment. Not necessarily an experiment from Twitter's position. They've, I think, realized that it works extremely well. But it's an experiment for those that are using it because, right now, for example, I do a live, 1 or 2 live broadcasts a day. And I do them purposefully at different times. For example, we're doing a live broadcast right now. It's 10:14 Pacific. I can't remember the last time I did it this early. It's usually, after lunch. It's, between 1 p.m. and 4 p.m. because I want to see, okay, when are the most users on? When can I get the most engagement? Now, with the headline, though, there's a few hacks that you can put into place with headlines that I've found that have actually attracted more people into the broadcast. The first one is have a compelling headline. So nobody wants to watch you eat your cereal. Okay, maybe they do. Maybe there are some people that just want to sit there and watch you eat your cereal, and you could simply post, I'm eating my cereal right now, which some people have done. But for the purpose of building a brand, your headline really counts. You want to have something as compelling as possible. For example, there's got to be some hook to it. When I do my Periscopes, I usually have a headline that will describe what it is that we're going to talk about. So whatever the subject matter is, but I'll also try and compel people with something that I think is catchy. For example, you might say, hey, check out the hashtag Chevrolet, hashtag Camaro, plus find out these 5 hidden features that nobody ever talks about, or something like that. Just something to draw an audience in, because they'll go, oh, what are those 5 things? I want to learn about them, right?
Yeah.
So writing a compelling headline, and then here's the second thing I'll just say to that. I don't know why, I can't explain it, but putting emojis in your headline for some reason throws in new people.
And the emojis are killing it, man. Same with Instagram, like using them in your profile because the visual, and it's just we live in a visual society, and I think that those visuals there combined with the text, so strong. But okay, on back to the hashtag. So what about like you do a lot of like plug in what's coming, that hey, I'm coming live, letting people know when you're going to be up, which I think is good, especially if you're focusing on a hashtag too, because you can go in and on that hashtag let people know that you're going to be live on the scope at X o'clock,
Yeah, for sure. You can give people a heads up on social media, and then of course using hashtags. Like if you're following or in a niche or a niche where there's a popular hashtag, definitely incorporate that into your headline, because when you start broadcasting, it also will send out a notification to your Twitter. Also go into the Twitter stream for that hashtag so that new people can find you and know that you're actually broadcasting on a particular topic. So if there's other people following that hashtag and you're speaking about something in your scope that people are interested in, there's an opportunity there to attract new followers and help build your audience. Now, there is no shortage, specifically in the automotive industry, there's no shortage of brand enthusiasts. So whether you're a BMW rep or Chevy or GM or whatever it might be, you want to include those relevant hashtags, because there are like dozens and dozens and dozens of conversations happening around those brands at any given time, especially on Twitter and in social media. So getting people prepared
and localized too.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of local hashtags that towns and cities use.
Yeah, no doubt. And that's actually a good point, because on the actual Periscope app, you can look at the map view and even find people that are close to you. So for example, again, we're doing a live broadcast right now. People are watching this behind the scenes of us recording this. And I've had people that have joined in that are, an hour down the road from me. So they're able to see what's happening close to their region, which is really, again, good for you if your market or if your audience is meant to be close to you. Or you work at a brick and mortar store and you're trying to build your local audience.
Absolutely.
Okay, so this is all we've come up with just on the walk around thing. I mean, think of those all of these spill off topics that come from our first tip, which is doing live walk arounds or product demo videos on Periscope. But it leads to the second tip. We were actually talking about leaving this to the end, but I think it fits in really well right here. And it's actually the fact that even though your Periscope videos are live and you can only access the replay up to 24 hours, you have an opportunity to actually grab that video. And if you check out the show notes at www.thedealerplaybook.com/62, we'll actually show you real quick how you can do this. But you can grab that video, download it onto your computer, re-upload it to YouTube with a nice like template background, and you guys can see what mine look like by visiting my YouTube channel. And you can actually then turn around and write a blog post or a social post or something that has to do with what you're talking about. So for example, I have a post where I talk about how I got, as a case study, how I received 400 plus targeted niche specific or niche specific Twitter followers organically without spending a dime, and I did a Periscope on it. But then I uploaded that Periscope to YouTube. I then embedded it on a blog post on my website where I talk about it. It breaks up the blog post really nicely, gives more context so it's not all reading. And so that would be our second tip here, is once you've done all of these live broadcasts, you can actually download the video and repurpose it, and now your content creation doesn't become as overwhelming.
Yeah. Now you're operating. Now you're in it, and that's and it's all from one thing that you did, and it really takes no work. I mean, essentially, like every Periscope that you do, for example, at the very least, is a blog post. You just listen to it and go in and just turn it into. Don't need it transcribed or anything like that. You just go in and highlight all the points and just turn it into text.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
the beauty of the YouTube is, although Periscope is real dialed in with the social, with Twitter, and then, it gets a lot of social shares, it still doesn't have that. You can't search it. Like how many people are still searching Google daily? you know,
exactly.
in your market everywhere. And this is a way you can get in front of them if that content is, again, something that they're looking for, or is the headline titled properly, optimized, etc.
Yeah, and the cool thing is, look, if you're working with an established brand or a type of a product that's already established, there's going to be an audience out there. So search for different hashtags, find out what people are interested in, what they're talking about, do a Periscope on that topic, repurpose it into a blog post, embed your YouTube video replay of the broadcast, and now you're doing like what Jay Bear talked about in episode 50 of the show, where you're taking one piece of content and turning it, shall we say, auto-magically into, you know, a few other pieces. He walked through an exercise, so we'll invite you guys to go check out episode 50. But he walked through an exercise where he took one 3-minute video and turned it into like 8 or 9 pieces of content.
Yep. Yeah, that's content marketing. Folks.
Okay, so that's number 2.
On steroids.
That's tip number 2. Tip number 3, you can share breaking news. Now, I follow a couple of newscasters, and I think I've always thought it was kind of cool for them to do the behind the scenes thing and watch the news live. But think about this in your product, brand, or niche. I mean, if you're a car sales professional, or you're any other position in the dealership, you can talk about the breaking news that's happening pertaining to your brand. This could include recalls. It could talk about new products coming down the pipe. It could talk about when the new products are set to arrive. You know, all you have to do, this is the genius thing, all you have to do is go to the newsroom on your, you know, brand's OEM like website, and just find out what news releases they're publishing and do a Periscope on the topic. It's so simple.
Just
all of the content's created for you. You just got to turn the camera on.
Yep.
And guaranteed
it's
there's going to be
just your
people.
spin.
It's your spin,
give
and
their
there's always
spin
going to be
on
people on it.
And you know what else? This just came from that idea, from this idea here, is that not just even breaking news when it comes to the OEM, this and that, like you can do so much about like construction updates, you know, because bad roads are bad, you know, nobody wants to take a good car on crappy roads. So updates, like localized stuff even.
Yeah, exactly.
Not even just car, but, you know, cars, just like new places maybe opening up, or, you know, escaped serial killer from the loony bin, you know, on the hill, whatever, you know.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about advancing your brand, and I mean, and that's really it, is just putting yourself out there. You know, I talk about this thing called mindshare real estate. That's just what I call it, is taking up real estate in somebody else's mind. And so anytime, and I mean, you know, correct me if I'm wrong, Robert, but I mean, this is really one of the things that Grant Cardone does extremely well, is he's always in your face. Like everywhere that you go, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Periscope, he is constantly in front of you. And the genius of it, the subtle, I don't want to call it mind trickery, but for lack of better words, let's go with that, is that he is constantly in front of you. And every moment that he's in front of you, he knows, and I'm not saying he's like throwing on a wizard's cap and like, you know, being like, oh, I'm going to get everybody to think about me. But we all know that if we're looking at something, it's what we're thinking about. And so Periscope, like you just said, to your point, is, I mean, to get on there and talk about anything, as long as you're introing and outroing who you are and what it is that you do, and that you thought you were providing value. Hey, here's the valuable information that I want to provide to you right now. You're putting yourself in front of people, and in so doing, you have an opportunity there to constantly build your brand.
Yeah, I mean, it's all you have to do is focus on giving value, and it doesn't necessarily, just find out what that value is. If you're selling cars, it really doesn't have to be solely information about cars and buying cars. If you're the go-to source on what's hot, what's going on in your area, like that's still building a relationship, because that's what sells.
Yeah,
that's the moneymaker.
Use it as an opportunity to be a part of your community and share relevant and valuable information that you think will resonate with people. Okay, so this leads into the next point. This is point number 4, and that's simply to do.
So what do we got so far? Let's hear. Run them down. The first.
Yeah, good point. Let's do a quick recap on the first 3. So live walkarounds or product demos. We've got repurposing your live broadcasts into other forms of content, blog posts, YouTube videos, social posts. Then we've got sharing the breaking news as it pertains to whatever it is that you do or whatever you think will be relevant to the community that you serve. And then leading into number 4, which is doing a live Q&A for brand enthusiasts. So really, again, I mean, we're specific to people that are in the automotive industry, but this works everywhere. I mean, these are tips that work absolutely everywhere. Do a Q&A for brand enthusiasts. So, Robert, you and I know guys that are, Corvette guys. We know BMW guys. We know Mazda guys, or Mazda guys, as we say in Canada. We know so many different people.
Answering all your questions about the BMW X series tonight at 7, whatever. Hashtag.
Exactly. But, you can fire that out even to past or existing clients or prospects. And that's an opportunity where non-intrusively, non-disruptively, is that a word? You can get in front of people and answer questions and provide more value. Now, one tip to this, okay, because I've done some Q&As. Some of them, depending on the subject, some of them, they were like 3 questions, and so I had to fill in a lot of space. Be prepared for that. Be prepared for all of that. You might get people where you're like, hey, I'm here answering your questions, but it's just like sitting in a classroom. It's like sometimes it's like pulling teeth to get anybody to raise their hand and ask a question because, I mean, we've all got this thing in our head where we think whatever question we have is there's probably an obvious answer and we don't want to look stupid, or we're just too shy to ask the question. So as the broadcaster, if you're doing a live Q&A, you can be prepared. You can get ahead of this. So like what you said, Robert, if you're going to broadcast, hey, tonight at 7 p.m., hashtag BMW or hashtag Tacoma, new Tacoma launch or whatever, we're going to be answering your questions about the new Tacoma. What I would say to that is definitely open it up to your live audience and be like, okay, guys, here's what we're doing today. We'll love any questions you have about the Toyota lineup, the new Tacoma, but just in case people don't ask questions, you can come into it prepared with some questions that people have asked. You can go online, you can search for questions that people are asking, whether it's through forums, and just be like, okay, listen, I wanted to bring you guys value. Here's some common questions that people have asked, and then you answer them live.
Yeah, and even if it's about BMW, you can go the route of, even if you're finance management, anything, you can go the route of the top, I'm taking your questions on, getting the most money for your trade. What are the best ways to get the most money for your trade? The best ways to have an easy car buying experience, stuff like that, not just about particular models, makes, vehicles.
Yeah, just the frequently asked questions, right? Keep it, people always have frequently asked questions, and so don't always think inside of the immediate needs of whatever the product is, like Robert's saying. Reach outside of that. Look at the far expanses of your business and whatever common and frequently asked questions, go ahead and take the opportunity to answer them. What I would say is keep your Periscope broadcast focused on a certain topic or solving a specific problem. So you wouldn't necessarily, like if you were doing a product review or a product Q&A, keep it related to that product. You don't want to be jumping all over the place and make it like this.
Exactly.
You want to have a specific audience. Okay, here we go.
Regarding that, hold on. So is it important to, even those, not even just the product? So you're saying you're going to take every Periscope video and you're going to put it on YouTube, right? Every single one, no matter if it's a Q&A or what it is, you're going to put it up there and optimize it, right?
Oh yeah, totally. I mean, it's content, right? And if you're going into these and your focus is on solving a problem, like singular a problem, and you're providing good information, absolutely get them on YouTube, because guaranteed other people are going to be wondering about the same things, and you're now positioning yourself as your market, or as whatever your market is. It could be globally, but it could be region specific. You're setting yourself up to be the authority figure, right?
Yep. And now let me ask you this. How important is it in that beginning where you're giving some people some time to hop on, and then you're also welcoming people, like you're driving engagement out of them, correct? Is that something like they want to get the audience involved, right?
Yeah.
You want to talk right to them.
Totally. I give myself a couple of minutes. So Man, I don't know if I could go to jail or something for this, but what I do is I have Pink Floyd's Money playing as I intro people, like as I welcome people in, so that boom, beep, beep, boom, boop, 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 right? And people are joining in and they're hearing this music, and really what I'm trying to do is convey the message that what we're talking about today is going to bring you more money. So I give myself a couple of minutes, I welcome people in. I increase engagement by asking those that are new to my broadcast to just comment new and let me know where I'm from. It does a couple of things. First, increases engagement. Second, it builds an audience, or it helps build a tribe, because people now feel like they're a part of something. So I can welcome them, engage with them wherever they are. Then I'll ask them, hey, would love to get more people in here because we're helping people rise above the clutter, dominate the web. So that's kind of my I guess, tagline or my brand statement, purpose statement. So do me a favor, slide to the right, share out this broadcast. If you're on Android, swipe up, share this broadcast, and let's set a hearts goal. I don't know if hearts mean anything per se in Periscope. I'm sure there's a bit of an algorithm there that helps with rankings. So, people that have 1 million plus hearts are going to be on the featured list and all those sorts of things. So I'll just say, hey, let's set a hearts goal. Let's see if we can break 1,000 hearts. Let's see if we can break 500 hearts or whatever. So even right now for my live broadcast, I've set a hearts goal for 1,000, and I'm going to see if we can meet that.
How close are we?
Yeah, exactly. So the last thing the last thing we should talk about here, this is number 5. Okay. For those of you keeping track to the numbers here. The last one is a cool idea. Robert, this was one of your suggestions, and I think this is so cool. It's, to interview or to just get a real live customer on a broadcast. Talk about supercharging your social proof, right? So you'll get there, customers excited, they just bought something from you, they've enjoyed their experience. What's the difference by asking for a video review? Instead of doing a video review, do a live video review. It doesn't make any difference to them. Yep. They've agreed to being on video anyways, right?
Yep. And another thing that after I thought about that one that I started thinking was, like, not even just there's so much of the customer reviews about working with that salesperson or buying from that dealership, and there's not enough, I think, on the actual product. You know what I mean? The review, their opinion on that product.
Yeah, that's
like
that's
so. What'd you think
point.
about, like, come back to test drive? So what'd you think about that brand new, whatever? Oh man, the thing was great, handles great on, something like that.
Yeah, that's actually a great point, because we're always so focused on ourselves that we forget to help others, achieve success. And so a product review from a real customer will mean so much more than than a personal review of you in certain circumstances. So definitely a great point.
Yeah.
Okay,
and
guys,
also you could interview other staff, people from the dealership too, like tech, stuff like that. You're surrounded by opportunity.
The whole concept here is think outside the box. Again, look at the far expanses of your dealership. Look at the interactions that you're already having with your customers. Think about instead of just doing a video for a service customer or somebody that's just got an oil change, or maybe they came in for maintenance, get them on a live broadcast, ask them the questions, save it down to your camera roll, repurpose it, and now you have new content that you can leverage for the different pages on your website. So guys, there you go. 5 tips. Let's do a quick recap. I'm just going to bullet point these, and then we're going to wind this bad boy down. Hope that you guys are finding some value, and certainly appreciate you guys listening in. So number 1, you want to think about doing live walk around and product demos. Again, bullet point out a few of the really exciting things that you want to highlight, so that you're not necessarily following a script, but you are keeping it on point and
title it based around that, so people know exactly what they're getting out of it. Correct?
Exactly. Use the headline. Be compelling with your headline. Use the proper hashtags so that when you start broadcasting, it sends it out to the Twitter feed, to the Twitter sphere, and
the right
you're
people
reaching out to those people. Exactly. Number 2 is repurpose that content. So save those live broadcasts upload them to your YouTube channel, and then repurpose them into blog posts. So take the main points, write a blog post about it, embed your YouTube video of your broadcast replay right on the page so it increases engagement, and then share it out socially as well. One thing I forgot to mention though with this is if you're gonna share on Facebook, make sure that you natively upload the video to Facebook. Facebook is definitely favoring native video uploads rather than embedding a YouTube video. Number 3 was share breaking news. So again, you can go to the OEM website. This is a real quick thing, and look at the breaking news, anything that's happening, spy shots coming out that people need to check out that you probably should put on your own website and direct the traffic there. Recalls, all of that sort of information that you think would be valuable. And of course, you could even get into breaking news into your community like Robert suggested, and just build, more, I guess, notoriety in your own market. Number 4 was doing live Q&As and frequently asked questions. Again, be prepared just in case you don't get any engagement from the live viewers through comments and whatnot. Just be prepared with some of the most frequently asked questions surrounding whatever your subject matter is, and just blast it out. And then
that's
leads
a good
us
tip there, Cirillo.
Yeah, and then
definitely a good tip there.
Thank you. And then
Yes,
the last one was really cool suggestion from Robert, which is interviewing live customers, and it doesn't need to be vehicle specific. Go to the different areas of your dealership, service customers, so fixed operations, all of those sorts of things. So those are the 5 tips. Guys, we'd love for you to get more information about how to do Periscope. Get these 5 tips recapped for you live. Go check out the show notes, www.thedealerplaybook.com/62, where we're going to link out to different
62,
resources.
yeah.
Is that 62?
Is it 62?
We've done so many now, I've lost track.
It'll be the one. It'll be the latest one.
The latest one, yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we're 62. Thedealerplaybook.com/62, where we're gonna recap all of those as well. We're gonna just show you really quickly how you can grab the video, the live or the replay video, upload it to YouTube, and use it to repurpose. So, Robert, you got anything else, man?
Man. Thanks everybody for being here. Next week, same channel.
Here we go. Thanks, guys. Talk next week.